Hey friends, Mike here, and welcome back to the main track. It's great to see you as always. Well, I've had a pretty busy few weeks down here in the train layout room, spending some of my time off down here in the nice, cool basement out of the summer heat out there. And I've made a lot of progress getting some permanent track laid down so I can at least run a train back and forth. So if you pardon my progress, I'd love to show you some brand new, really cool cabooses I just got for the layout. That's coming up right now. Well, thanks to Tangent, my caboose collection is on the grow. Well, in July of 2024, Tangent announced its new international car company, Bay Window Cabooses, painted for Chicago, Rock Island and Pacific, and latter owner, Union Pacific. And I tell you, these beauties were too good to pass up. The Tangent reps had some of these on hand for sale at the Railroad Prototype Modelers Meet in St. Louis, so I was lucky to be able to snag a couple of these just one day after they came out. Tangent's website, as usual, has a wealth of information about these cabooses, so you'll want to check those out. This video was just meant as a quick show and tell to show you what I got and to give you an idea of the superb detailing and accuracy these things have. Well, as with Tangent's other cabooses, these include accurate trucks with roller bearing caps, 33-inch CNC machined metal wheels, KD scale couplers, and a lot of fantastic lighting features with illuminated interiors and marker lights. Well, check out the exquisite details from the fine handrails and grab irons all the way to the crisp lettering and paint job. The prototype Rock Island units had red and green lights mounted on a tripod on top, and there are several different details offered with a model representing first and second batches of the cars and the modifications made to the prototypes over the years. Well, note the Union Pacific versions accurately represent its removal of the tripod lights during rebuilds. Well, these run very smoothly along the track, and they have the right amount of weight to keep them running without a wobble. Well, I wanted to give you a quick thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and give a big shout out to our Dollar Crew Club members. They've joined to help support the channel, and I have details on that in the description. Now, according to Tangent's website, the prototypes were delivered between 1966 and 1971. Well, these offerings, according to Tangent, include Rock Island cabooses in several different eras from the 1960s onward, and various repaints in the red schemes, the modern The Rock scheme with the big R logo, and of course there are the yellow and red Union Pacific versions. You'll notice this run includes the white Rock scheme, but the blue was not a part of this particular release. A fun fact, the real cabooses were owned and financed by Union Pacific from the get-go. They were a carryover from UP's failed attempt to merge with the Rock back in the 1960s. So when the Rock went bankrupt in 1980, the cabooses all went back to UP. Well, most were patched out with the new reporting marks and ran around like that for a couple of years. Well, Tangent captures that in this release, as well as the cabooses' later years being repainted into Union Pacific's colors. Well, a lot of you might be asking, Mike, what do you need a Rock Island caboose for, since you modeled 1987 and the Rock was gone by 1980? Or why would you want a UP caboose, since that's the big bad railroad that put an end to the Katy? Well, those are good questions, and first up, I'll let you know I've always liked the modern The Rock scheme with the big R logo. Now, I don't remember the Rock Island since I was just one when it went bankrupt, but I remember growing up and seeing a lot of freight cars in this scheme roaming the rails still. Well, also, I plan to eventually have some backdated operating sessions, perhaps representing 1979 or 80, right around that time frame, so these Rock Island cabooses will go just fine with that. Well, there are also some UP coal trains running on the MKT Sedalia sub to the KCP&L power plant that I'm modeling, and I'll eventually be modeling a short stretch of the Mopac Union Pacific main line at Sedalia, so there will be several different ways these cabooses can fit into my operations. Now, one big thing I like about the Tangent cars is the lighting features, and they're ready to go right out of the box. You just put them on the rails, wave the little wand over the top that Tangent includes, and on pops the lights. And there's no DCC programming you have to do. However, unlike some of the other nice new caboose models being rolled out by other manufacturers, these do not have sound effects. Now, I don't usually add pricing information to these videos, since that information can change over time and by retailer, but I will say, like I have in some other videos, with Tangent, you certainly get what you pay for. Well, speaking of cabooses, that's all for this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, friends. I'll see you next time, right here on the main track.